I live life in the moment.
Yes. Okay.
Freestyle, freestyle.
Okay. For those who do not know you, please let them know who you are.
What's good, everybody? My name is Brook Lyn Terry. From that crew, Elite Force, and
Yes.
that other crew, Step Fiends, New York City, Brooklyn, New York, as you can probably figure by my name. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Shout out to Stephanie's. The crew's been ringing bells right now. People
Yeah,
getting to know him over here in Europe now. Who that crew is. Thanks to a lot of you guys, Cricket, a couple other people too.
yep.
You know, yeah, when we gonna get, I'm gonna try to get your whole crew up here. So individually, I'm going after the whole Step Fiends anyway. Try to get them up here
Dope,
on the platform and talk to everybody from that crew, man.
dope.
Yeah, there was something. Somebody told me something was very pretty much interesting, man. I was like, wow, man, because I think we had something similar in common, and that was the fact that you came over here to Germany and you lived over here in Hanau. Somebody told me that. I was like, oh shoot, I gotta go talk to Brook Lyn Terry right now. So
Yeah.
that's the originally reason why I said let me go talk to you next. Let me see if I can holler at you.
So
Uh,
it's like this is like circa 88, 89
oh,
ish.
okay. So you were
My
on the same age
father,
as
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah,
same
yeah,
age
yeah.
as me.
I'm
Because
dating
I
myself.
graduated in '89, a little '90. So
Oh, you graduated high school in 89.
yeah, the '89,
Uh,
90, 90
nah,
actually.
B, you
I
older
got
than
left
me.
back. I got left
You
back
older
half a
than
year.
me. You older than me. I'm only 47. I came over with my father who was in the
Yeah, I'm
army.
same age as you, man. I'm 40.
Ah, man.
All right, I'm 48. I'm
So
lying. I'm 1 year older.
my father was in the army, so I was getting in trouble in New York. So my mother went, she sent me to live with my dad in Germany for a little while. And I would when he would get stationed around the States, she would send me every now and then to go stay with him just to keep the relationship as well. But as you know, if people don't know, it was like crack era in New York, and
Yes,
I
it
was going
was.
through
Yeah.
through the puberty thing and trying to hang out a little bit too much. And my mom was like, "Nah, B, get out of here." And
And
she sent me to Germany to live with my father, and that was my first time ever leaving the country. It was an experience. Just say
yeah.
that it was an experience.
And for kids out there, we had a term. It's called wilding.
Yeah, oh man, yeah, New York
And
was wild.
it's a lot with that
We're
wilding. There's a lot
wilding.
of news and a lot of stuff with the wilding. But
Yeah,
that was one of the
you
terms
know,
that was thrown
they
around a
they
lot.
said that about the Central Park Five, but they actually didn't do it. But there was a lot of
Yeah,
wilding
that's what
going
I
on
was.
in
I
New
was
York
also
City
referring
at
to
that
that
time.
too because it hit us. It hit all of
Yeah,
us
yeah.
when they
And
got
it's funny
arrested.
because when Central Park when they got arrested, my mom was just like going through it. So she was
Yeah.
just like, I think that was probably the catalyst of me having to leave New York.
Yep.
She was just like, yeah, you gotta go.
You got to go. Wilding.
If I got the years correct, she was like, yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
go.
It's
But
just,
living in Hanau, man, it was crazy because there was no euro. Um, it was still a Deutschmark. So that was like just being in another country where the main language wasn't English was already like, oh wow, they speak
yeah.
something else. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, yeah, I used to go to the skating rink in Hanau all the time and skate.
Yeah. Hannah had the skating rink. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to burn everybody, all of the dancers that lived there. They knew what's up because I was already dancing at that time. So yeah, me and my boy Demetrius Pearson, Kevin Tyson. Um, Let me think of who else. Harold Alvarez. Wow, wow.
Yeah.
My boy
Yeah.
Pete. Oh my God.
Yo, and
My
you got to
boy
tag
Pepe.
team this, man. You gotta let them know you talking about this because it's very important to them too. If they're still around, you still
Yeah.
yeah, because they love it.
My boy Pepe actually is from Harlem and he was there out there with me and he's back in New York. Like it's funny because I stay in touch with him. I speak to him
Yeah,
every now and then.
yeah.
But
Because
yeah,
I
man,
try to
it
keep
was a good time.
alumni. Our alumni in Frankfurt is still kind of like we link up too, and I still know a lot
Yeah.
of the alumni that was there in Frankfurt at
Man,
that time too.
I
Um,
hated Frankfurt, man. Y'all used to beat
yeah,
us in football all the time.
yeah. Frankfurt, yo, we made sure we kept that name. Like it was, it's funny because everyone here that was in Frankfurt actually repped Frankfurt like it was like a real legitimate city.
I know.
Like it was like a
Yeah.
home away from home city. Everybody agreed to say, yeah, we're
You
gonna rep it. So that's
you're
why we
gonna get mad at
go
me,
hard
but I
on
used to.
football, everything.
You're gonna get mad at me, but I used to smoke the dances in Frankfurt. I was like, y'all
Well,
don't
okay,
want
so
me.
question I got for you. Question I got for you, because you probably did. You probably look. I guarantee, if I could probably show you the pictures of these guys, you would know who you was dancing against. That was from Frankfurt.
Probably
I
so.
guarantee. Because there's a couple of one. There's one dude. He had twins as sisters, and he had like a little black flat top with a little orange in it. But I don't know.
Bro,
I see you some
everybody had a
pictures because
flat
it's a little
top.
foggy. You gotta have a good memory, right? But did you ever go to? Did you go down to Spain? Did you make it down to Spain
Yo,
for
I
the
went to Spain.
summer
Okay,
break?
so
For the summer
I
break.
went to Spain and I
I
had
mean,
to
for the spring
bounce.
break. Pardon me, spring break.
Yeah, I went to Spain one spring break, but we had to bounce. Like it got really bad, all the fights.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was in some club and I was with all like a lot of the cats in the football team, all the Samoan dudes. You know how they get down.
Yeah.
And some shit started and the club had like a balcony and I was on the dance floor and fucking glasses just started raining down on the dance floor. I was like, oh shit. And then that night it was such a big problem that Hanau got sent back to Hanau. We got
Wow.
sent back.
Wow. It's
We
crazy.
got sent back.
Crazy.
And I
And
remember my father was gonna kill me, man. My father was just like, what are you doing?
so from over there, from when you was over in Hanau, and I know you guys had a jukebox or something inside of the video jukebox inside of the a break room somewhere, right?
So we had a teen center, and I
Right.
was like the president of the teen center. And
Right.
like, it's military, so they have this a brand new building, everything. And they didn't just have a jukebox, they had a pair of 12s, mixer,
What?
speakers, the whole nine already at that time. Yep.
What?
Because I was the president of the teen center and I was like, yo, this is what we want.
Oh, snap. And he got it. They
And we got
requisitioned
it.
it for you.
It just happened because I guess they had a lot of money in the budget because like I said, the building was brand new, everything was brand new. I was fucking 15 years old with my own little office. Let me tell you about the shit that went on in that office. But yeah,
Crazy.
it was a great experience, man. Oh my God, I wouldn't trade that for anything. Yeah,
So what?
even all the stuff I missed in the States, I still wouldn't trade it.
So which album, like the one that, because hip house was out then. So
Yeah.
what was like anything that you can remember about the time for the music and the dance, as far as
That's like the
moving from
redhead
hip hop and
kingpin
house?
era.
Hmm.
That's like the redhead kingpin era.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, for me, it wasn't a transition from hip hop to house. Like I
yeah. It's not a
was
big deal.
at the age that like they were both happening for me at the same time. So I didn't quite give one up to live the other. It was just like they're both in my world now. And of course, I understood the language of both, you know what I mean? And it was great to be in Europe at that time because to be honest, in some ways, house may have been more prevalent in Europe than it was in the States at that time. Because remember,
Yeah,
house left Chicago, went to England, and then came back to the States. It got really big. But
yeah,
it was already popping. The Summer of Love was 88, 89 too in
yeah.
England, right? So we were in Europe during the really heavy hitting days of house music.
Soul to soul.
Soul is, oh my God. So I mean, I was listening I think Soul to Soul came out just before I left the States. Soul to Soul was like,
Yeah, over
wow,
here.
that
Yeah,
shit changed my world. Soul to Soul, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So and
Soul to soul is
that's,
dope.
and there was a lot of that stuff coming out of London that was just, yeah, rocking. Even I Got the Power and all that stuff from the States, like that was what was
Yeah,
popping at
that was
that
that.
time.
Yeah, did you ever get a chance to go to the Funkadelic in Frankfurt?
I think I went one time. I might have went one time. I know the name Funkadelic. I might have went one time. but it's
Okay.
not like super clear in my memory. I probably got chased out by Turks or something like that.
Yeah, it's a legend. Yeah, it's a legendary club, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're probably right. It's like a lot of the bouncers is there. It was like a little, yeah, it's a little crazy.
Yo, dude, I think I became a track star. Like I felt like I was dancing and running more than I was dancing because I had to run from like the fucking neo-Nazi crazy white folks. I had
Yeah.
to run from the Turks. And sometimes I had to fucking run from the young GIs who just got mad at me because I would be dancing and their girls would like me. Like, and I'm like,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah, man. Oh man, it was
fucking
so crazy
15.
then. Yeah. Yeah, it was hectic then. You had to move quick. And imagine
Yeah,
Hanau, which is cool. And then you come and probably visit in Frankfurt every now and then too. But you could have, yeah, just as bad as it was in Hanau, it's almost 1.5 times worse in Frankfurt.
I could
The
imagine.
subway, yeah, because we're in
Yeah,
underground tunnels, man, and we
yeah,
confronting people in underground tunnels. So that's like with nobody around. It's just like it's just
exactly.
you. It's whatever. It's good.
And
So
in Europe, it's funny because a lot of the European dancers have no idea that I ever lived there.
yeah.
Like to this day, like I hear people talking, I'm like, yeah, I was here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they don't
So
know that I
how does
lived
that
there.
translate? How do you think that translates to Germany? Because Germany's a
Um,
different place. Germany's not Paris, and Germany's not the UK. But Germany had a lot of Americans here, and a lot of influence from
I
America.
I think well, but the dances that we see, maybe for our generation, the influence was really hard. But the dances that I see in Germany today are most of them are new immigrants into Germany, like
Yeah,
maybe not even first generation yet. So they're
yeah,
like really new immigrants. So I don't know. I think their influences were more of just debut
yeah.
than it
Of
was
course, the
of
battles.
us. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was all of the battles. And when you speak to them, you can, because the people that were influenced by us that are closer to our age, they have more of the social aspect of the dance. When you
yeah,
see them rock, you can tell they go to clubs. They went to clubs. They danced with women or whatever your preference was.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But now, when I watch the young dancers like from Germany, I don't quite see the social aspect. I think they're dope. That's like UK and all those guys are fucking amazing, but it doesn't have the same warmth that we translate our dances to our hip hop and house
yeah,
in the
yeah,
States. There's a whole different kind of warmth to it. Like theirs is more like I'm gonna get on stage and present. For
yeah,
us, it's like I'm gonna go to the club and rock, and
yeah,
just a different world, you know.
yeah, yeah.
It's a
But they're
different world.
also interested in learning about the culture, the
Yeah,
presentation
yeah,
culture, and what
yeah.
and what's everything about. So that's always good too. And it's hard for them. They try to live it through, I guess, whoever's doing the verbalization through their
Yeah,
eyes in a way. That's why a lot of
but
them
it's
come out of
impossible.
the yeah. A lot of them come out thinking that well, we made a dance out of trauma. No, it's like a
Yeah,
celebration.
yeah. So
We have
I have this
fun.
because
Everybody
I'm
thinks we
doing
did
this.
it out of trauma.
I'm doing this now. I'm kind of doing the activist thing, and I tell people that our protest and our celebration look a lot alike, and it's easy to make a mistake.
Yeah,
We do have our stuff that comes out of trauma, but the thing about our dances is we were celebrating through our trauma to deal with whatever we had. Like, if I wasn't clubbing when I was like in the early 90s, if I wasn't clubbing, I would have been getting in trouble. I
yeah,
would have been in the trauma. You know what I mean? I would have been directly in the trauma. But I went out to avoid it. It was my avoidance. And if something did bother me, I could also use that to deal with whatever trauma me. You know what I mean? The shit
yeah,
that you saw growing up in the northern East Coast. It's crazy. So
yeah,
we had to at that time, we had to do what we had to do to either escape or deal with the trauma.
yeah, yeah. And we're all together, so it's just that's the
Yep.
thing. So we figure
Yep.
out which lane we want to ride in. We can go down this one or we can go down that one. We had
Yep.
choices. And a lot of times, man, some of the people, that we know when the family gets a cookout, all that right there is something totally different anyway, man. It
Yeah,
just everything
yeah,
changes right from there. So it doesn't
yeah.
matter if your uncle's a full-time bank robber. It's always good to see him at the barbecue.
Yeah. And let me tell you how a motherfucker had that uncle. I was like, yo, Joe, what's up?
Yeah,
Don't pick me up.
he got a lot of love.
A lot of love.
He might
Yo,
break
I can
into
tell you,
somebody else's house, but he got a lot of
I,
love.
I'm gonna tell you my first kind of hip hop memory before we go in the house. Like it's not even
Yeah,
like necessarily a hip hop memory because I'm sure this was like 1978 because
yeah.
I had to be like 5 or 6 years old or something crazy like that. My sister took me to a park jam, and that park jam was in my then elementary school park. I was like in kindergarten. Um, I went to PS 44 in Brooklyn. Now, PS 44, it's in Bed-Stuy. That neighborhood is famous because Fab Five Freddy lived there. Like everybody was from the neighborhood, even though that hip hop was just really sparking. Um, so she took me to the park jam, and I remember the circle super clear, and I remember my uncle dancing in that circle. And then
Okay. Yeah.
then like some time passes, and I remember my uncle chasing after somebody with his burner. Like, I was like, wow, this is hip hop.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
You
yeah.
know, when that
He's a
story comes up.
he's a good hey yo, he's a good dancer and he packed the piece.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
look,
because that's what it
Chubb,
was.
look at Chubb Rock, Dinky
Chub
Dinky
Rock.
Dog. Dinky
Yep,
Dog had the gun in his waist while he was
yep,
dancing in the video.
yep.
That
That was,
was crazy.
that's
Nobody
what it
peeped that out.
was.
I had to show that to people. It's like people were like, all right. I said, yo, Dinky Dog had a gun in his waist. They're like, nah. And I rewind to go back and show him,
Yeah,
and it's right there in his waist. And people be like, oh, word,
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know. Like, yeah,
It
treat
for
him
us. It's like
right.
it's yeah, it's just what it is. But one more thing about that park jam is
Yeah.
44 Park is famous for its park jams, and I didn't know this until about 2 years ago. 44 Park was famous for its park jams because of a DJ by the name of Grandmaster Flowers.
Grandmaster Flowers. Yeah. Yeah.
Grandmaster Flowers was the DJ at this park jam that my sister would take me to. So I
Wow.
was
History.
already inundated with that culture because it was just in my neighborhood. It was just around me. Um,
Wow, man.
my mother and father, my mother and father met at Empire Roller Skating Rink.
Yeah, I know
I don't know
Empire.
if you
Yeah,
know.
I've never been there, but I heard of Empire roller skating rink. I always wanted to go, but we knew if we went, I'm Jersey, so they ain't got no
Yeah,
mercy.
yeah.
Unless I'm coming from Newark with a whole bunch, I got to come with a whole freaking half the Newark. It's not gonna work, man. It's not gonna work for me. It's not gonna look good.
But
Jersey, bro.
yeah,
They
like
see my sneakers alone. As soon as I come in, whatever kind of sneakers I got, it's on.
where
They're
you
like,
from? Like,
I put my roller skates on. They're like, yo, where he from?
that happened to me in Baltimore. They're like, "Where you from?" I was like, "Philly." I was not gonna say New York. I was not saying New York. Where you from? Philly.
Yeah, yeah. That's smart. Yeah, yeah. It's craziness. But yo, I seen a video. I can't not find this one again, man. And he was like doing like okay, Roger Rabbit in New York, but the Crip Walk in California. But you did it so
Yeah.
freaking smooth. You murdered it. I was like, I've never seen. Yo, I was like, yo. I was like, man, if dude from California see this, they give you respect for that.
No, they won't.
They
Well,
was,
I have
no, I
one
mean, you
person.
had to. They had to. You did it so killer. It was so smooth. And I know, did you tell him it was the Roger Rabbit? I hope.
No, I didn't tell him. So, okay, the person that taught me how to do that dance is Skeeter Rabbit.
Right.
Skeeter Rabbit was OG Crip.
Yeah.
So I learned how to do it from him, and I would only do it like if like, he was around or if I wasn't in LA. But yeah, that's how I learned how to do it. And I mean, I just added it to my house repertoire. Me and my boy Mike Euphoria, we loved the dance. It was funky, so we just added it to our repertoire.
Yo, yeah. And I seen Cali, and I know I respect their culture too, man. So it's nothing against
Yeah,
Cali. I really respect Cali's culture and their crip walk. But man, when I see you did it, I was like, oh man, this is problems right here. But if you try to teach a class, you always gotta tell everybody, look, just don't go walking around here doing this because you never know who ends
yeah.
up in California. So you
I
gotta be like,
remember
yo,
that.
you really can't do this dance, yo. It's not
Yeah,
like you can look at it real quick. I'm not even supposed to be doing it. So
yeah. And it's funny because that's what happens. Like when you pull the culture out of the dance itself, that's what happens. And that's why I do not teach anything close to that step. And like, because there's a whole culture behind this. Whatever you may think of the gang culture, whatever, there's a whole culture behind it that we have to respect. And
have to.
who am I to be teaching you this thing that's not even my thing? I'm not from West Coast gang culture. I'm not from Crip culture.
Yeah,
That's not
man.
my thing. I happen to love the dance, but it's not my thing to give to you.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't. I don't even. I
Yeah, that's
feel
something I wouldn't.
really mad.
I don't even authorize that because of the violence that's behind it. So that's
Yeah.
the only thing, that the level of violence that's behind that particular dance. I don't really.
It's,
I know how to do it, but I'll do it real quick and done. But then if
yeah.
I see somebody around, I'll be like, yo, nah, I'm not
I
nothing
remember
like
early
that. I'll say
2000s.
it's the Roger Rabbit. It's the Roger. We call it something else in New York.
And
You
during the early 2000s, I would go to dance studios in Europe, and everybody was doing it, and I'm just like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
good. Like, in Asia as well, Asia as well. And one time, I saw Skeeter Rabbit actually tell somebody, "You need to stop that,"
Whoa.
in Japan,
Yeah.
and I was just like, maybe you want to stop.
Yeah, that's the only thing when people are doing it, and it's okay until you get checked. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how
yeah,
it is. It's okay. Everything's okay until somebody be like, "Yo," because I over here there was Americans still over here. I wouldn't do it. There was still some clubs left, and some cats. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Even though I know how to do it, I was like, I'm
yeah.
not gonna do it.
I mean, just if like I kind of had permission, but
Yeah,
even then, I wasn't doing that shit all the time. Like if I
yeah,
went to LA, let me tell you, I was like, hey, not
yeah.
do that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and
You know,
my family was also from my father's side. He's from Chicago, man, and the way you wear your hat, it's
yeah,
just like you have to wear
man,
your hat. Like how you wear your hat is still leaning towards gangster.
yeah,
Straight, you have to
I
wear it
heard
straight
about
like a
that.
like a duck.
Like you gotta be like,
Yeah, you gotta have it straight like a duck, just like that.
yeah,
It's that
it's
one lane
crazy
right
because
there, either one side or the other side. Yeah, depending on what side you leaning it on. Oh boy,
that's
he
crazy.
yo, he went out there to Chicago with me to see my pops, man, and he had his hat tip to the side.
Mm.
And I was like, yo, you're gonna have to change your hat. And he was like, man, I ain't changing my hat. Right? I got there. My cousin told him, he said, my cousin was repping already. So it's
Yeah,
nothing for him. But he was telling him, like, yo, do what you want to do, but you repping one side or the other. And then when he went through the mall, he got so many G's throw gang signs at him that he changed his hat straight. Like he didn't nobody had to say
I'd
anything
have
to
took
him.
my shit off. Throwing this hat in the trash.
He had so many people. We went to the mall. So many people threw up gang signs. They thought he was gang affiliated, and he felt
Man.
that heat. He was like, "Oh shoot!" He felt the eyes and everything. He was like, "Yo," by the time you thought his hat was all straight, like, nah, man, I ain't messing around. Like, wow, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Craziness. Nah, man. I took my shit off. I was like, yeah, the
yeah.
hat's
No,
yours.
thank you. Yo, when was the first time you got over to Japan, man? Like, when's the
The
first time you
first
went over to
time
Japan?
I came over to Japan might have been really early 96 or late 95. It was with Mariah.
Okay,
Um, yeah. Wow. It's a long time ago. That was my first time ever, the first time I ever came here. I've already known lots of Japanese people. As a matter of fact, I was dating a Japanese woman. My oldest daughter
hmm
is half Japanese and she is 24 years old. So I'd known a lot about Japan, and for real, they all came to New York anyway, and they would follow us around and go to the clubs with us. So I kind of had an idea about Japan, but the first time I came here, man, it blew me away. everything was so different. Everything was so vibrant. The music in the clubs at that time was really, and this, as a New Yorker to say some shit like this, it was really competing and sometimes beating the scene in New York.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, you
Wow.
guys, Stretch Lake, everybody. We would go home and be like, yo, y'all need to go listen to what they playing. Like that's how dope it was.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Like,
the only thing I think I miss going to Japan, man. I gotta figure out how to get out there. When now this Corona's, that was on my
good luck,
to-do list. It was on my to-do list. But now the Corona hit, it's off my to-do list, I guess.
right?
So
Dude,
it's
everything's
a
off my
wrap,
to-do
man.
list. On my
But
to-do list is live. Like that's my
uh,
to-do
but
list
the thing
right there.
about it is, from over here, from my side, they're on the green.
Mm,
China and them are on green. Like you can actually go there and visit, which is crazy.
really?
Yeah, but nowhere
Do
else you can go.
you have wait, you have a US passport still, right?
Yeah, I have a U.S. passport. Yeah, I got. I'm
But
born in New York. I'm born in Staten Island, New York.
I,
Staten
I
Island,
don't know,
Staten Island.
maybe you gave that shit up like, yeah, fuck this shit.
No, 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 no. Dude.
But yeah, like Japan is real fickle, like when it comes to that, the COVID thing. A lot of us living here, if we leave, there's a very big chance we won't be able to return. That's how
Oh,
Japan is.
okay. All right. That's how. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how sugar. So how's the scene over there, though, man? Right now, because of it.
Well, all right. This is where the interview gets real.
Okay, let's go.
So Japan. Um, there are lots of studios and lots of events, but very little culture. There's battles all there used to be battles all the time, and but there's very little culture. I don't feel anything when I go to events here. Actually, to be absolutely honest, I feel like a visitor in my own culture, and
Yeah.
I've felt like that here for a very long time.
Oh,
So I
wow.
think the scene as far as the dance side is really like it's been dead for a long time for me since like 2000. It's been absolutely dead. And that's wow, that's 20 years.
Yeah.
Jeez, right? And I don't care, you can put this out, let everybody know how I feel. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
um
No.
music wise, if you go away from the dance scene, the music is still good here.
Yeah.
DJs, like the DJs that know, really know, and they play really good music. But as far as the music and the dance living in one place, it doesn't exist. Just like it really doesn't exist in most places in the world right now
Yeah, even
outside
in
of
America,
maybe
it's
New
something
York
like that.
City.
You're still a minority, as far as if hip hop dance, house dance. I mean, I'm gonna and the old stuff, old. I don't know if I want to say old. I have to say old because right now in hip hop, it's so much changed. It changes.
Yeah.
It's going back old. Of course, we're going through our cycles, but as far as the dance wise, it's just different to see it. And I always, I don't try to knock it with the new is because we did new stuff too, and then all the older dancers complaining about us or whatever. And I'm always like this. I don't want to keep it going around in a circle where
Yeah.
now you the older dancer and you saying, "Oh, what you doing? That ain't
It's
nothing," and
so
stuff like that.
for me, it's not about knocking the dances. Like, yo, I want it to be different. I want the dances to
Yeah.
evolve. I want to feel change. Like I want. But what scares me now, what I'm afraid of is how oftentimes the music is over here and the dance is over here. So I see a lot of dancers going out and they'll have their iPhone or whatever they're playing the source from, they'll plug it in and then they'll dance,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which means that they decided everything that's being played, which leaves very little space for discovery. And when you have
Okay.
very little
Yeah.
space for discovery for your music, that also leaves very little space for discovery for your dance. When I was younger, now to go to back in the days, I was fortunate enough to be dancing from the for the from the with to the music of my mother's generation,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
My older sister's generation, who was 8 years older than me, and my generation. So that's three generations of music that I'm dancing to in the club in one night in one set
Yeah.
sometimes,
Yeah.
which in turn opened the dance up. It just opens everything when you have that, because music is the food,
Yeah.
right? Music is the
Yeah.
food. It's feeding the dance. And if you can, if it's like every single day cornflakes, like that's how it feels now.
Yeah.
Every day it's the same thing, and you select, like, there's no discovery. There's like, you choose, you go to a battle, and the DJ at the battle
That's what I was going to
is
ask you next.
asking the dancers what's good to
Yeah,
play.
I was
Nah,
just about to
B.
say that. You walk right into. I was going to say, is it the DJ's fault? Or should we blame the DJs
Yes,
for the
yes,
situation that's going on right now with the music?
yes.
Because it's an individual. It could be an individual choice, for an individual dancer thing. But then I know collectively, I want to hear a good DJ. I would hope
Look,
that collectively, that's what we want to hear, a good DJ. Individually, I might want to put my headsets on and do my thing. But as a collective, you know what I mean? The
it,
DJ is very essential. So, do you think the DJs are playing a part in
fucking it up,
maybe
yeah.
the possible demise of dance?
Yeah, they're fucking it up. Yeah, they're fucking it up. Real talk.
you know?
So this is my thing is this, right? In the beginning of this whole talk that we had, I mentioned the DJ, right? I mentioned the DJ, and I said that he, like, I was already being immersed in this
Yeah,
world in
DJ
music
Flowers, right? Yeah,
because Grandmaster Flowers, right?
yeah,
Because of him, I was immersed in that world. And then if I keep going down the line of DJs, and I'm not, this is before I get to the dancers. Of course, I saw dancers as I'm growing up that blew me away, but it was the music that made all of the difference.
yeah,
And that's the issue now. It's just like the same selection over and over again. And I remember going from, I mean, I worked in hip hop clubs that and house. I used to work in the Muse,
hmm
and the selection that was happening in the Muse just from floor to floor was crazy. You could always go and change the vibe.
yeah,
But now the DJs are asking the dancers what to play. I
yeah. Not cool,
cannot
man. Not
imagine
cool.
Louis Vega
Yeah, not
coming to
cool.
me like, "Yo, Terry, what you want me to play tonight?" Can you imagine that shit? Can you
Yeah,
imagine DJ SNS like, "Yo, son, what you want me to play tonight?" No, I can't imagine. No.
yeah. It's horrible. Yeah, you that what you said, you went right into the DJ, and that's something, we want to give the DJs credits too, the good ones, of course, and we
Yeah,
got, and the ones that are going to be good. So we don't want to be like, because you could be terrible today but good tomorrow. So
yeah.
it's a possibility. Uh, but the level of dance may be in the demise if it's the level of DJing, a level of music playing, and a level of selection.
That's absolutely connected, and it also the style.
Yeah,
Because
style of selection.
if you look at the dancers who went to the loft and then the dancers who went to Paradise Garage, which is a very different crowd, their entire
Yeah,
style is different. Why is
yeah,
their style different? Because the DJ played different music. Because this DJ, David Mancuso, had his style,
yep,
while Larry
yep,
Levan had his style. Then if
yeah,
I go to Sound Factory Bar like I did, Louis Vega had his style. And if you
yeah,
went there and then you went to the Shelter,
yeah.
uh, Timmy Regisford has his style. So
Yeah,
everyone has a signature, which makes people dance different. People dance different in Sound Factory Bar than they did at the Shelter.
right. Mm-hmm.
But now it is this huge homogenous thing, and every single DJ is like eating out of the same trough of music and playing the exact same shit, which
Yeah.
makes us as dancers the exact same shit.
Chemistry, y'all. It's chemistry, man. It's
Yeah,
science right now. It's
it's fucking
science.
rhythm, man. Like, yo,
Yeah.
who? Just like when I watch a dancer dance, I want to know who you are. I don't want to fucking see you copy Ejo, Shannon, Khalif. Like, that's good in the beginning, but later on, who the fuck are you? I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
know
The
who you are.
originality is the thing. And I think,
And
this is
same
the
thing with
thing.
DJs.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of discussions we've been having, man. And it's good. And DJs, don't get mad at us. We just being real. So,
I don't
we
give a
gotta
fuck
bring
if
y'all
you
into
get mad.
yeah,
I
we gotta
don't
bring
give a
y'all
fuck
into the
if you get
conversation
mad.
too now, right?
I don't give a fuck if you get mad. Step your shit up.
Yeah, yeah. We got to bring y'all into this conversation too. You got to come along. You're along for
Yeah,
the ride.
you know,
'Cause-
there's a lot of DJs out there. Like I think Capella's dope as a DJ as well as a dancer.
I
Um,
like I heard a set of his. I like Red. I was liking Frankie, man. Frankie J put out a couple of sets that I really kind of like too.
Frankie
Uh,
J is okay.
it's okay,
Um,
but we're not gonna get into DJs because that's not my lane.
but
I don't want
but
to get
see,
so because then we get
the thing
upset.
is, brother, I gotta tell you, as a person into
Yeah,
house,
yeah,
this
yeah,
is what we have to understand as
yeah,
house
yeah.
dancers,
Uh-huh.
that DJs are also our lane
Yeah,
because without them, there
ooh,
is no us.
oh, yeah, responsibility.
That exactly. Yo, um,
Responsibility.
you from Jersey, so that means you went to what's the fucking club in
Zanzibar.
Lord? Zanzibar. Come
Zanzibar.
on, man.
Yeah, Zanzibar
You
banging.
know the
Yeah.
dances at Zan's and the dances in New York. You know it was different. Like look
Different,
at
completely
Joey and those
different.
guys,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
completely different.
And
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's what we need as dancers. We can talk about our technique and all of that shit all day, but if we don't have the food to eat
yeah,
from, then all of that other
yeah,
stuff doesn't
yeah,
come.
yeah. Yeah, so DJ, step your game up. Step
For
your
real,
game
man.
up.
Feed me. Feed
Jeez,
me. You
jeez.
know. And it's just yeah, man. I'm very I put music before dance. Like
Yeah,
a lot of people now, because of what the situation is, put the dance before music. But dude, you
yeah, yeah,
know that if the music didn't make you move, you wouldn't be doing this.
yeah, exactly.
I,
He's got to set the tone. And
yeah,
yeah, it's just, and then you know, and the other thing is there were some parties that were here which were pretty good in Frankfurt. So I still got to give up. You know, they trying over here. So that's one good thing. We had a Haters Make Me Laugh, which was a variety of music, and you know, the DJ selected what he. No one was asking him to play anything, and he gave a row because you know how the dancers are over here. You got categories, so you
yeah,
have in all those categories, you got to make everybody agree somehow to come into one place and jam, and that's always hard to do, especially over in Europe. So when they were able to do that a few times, so I give it up to a shout out to my man Joe from Haters Make Me Laugh, and it's good
that's
that
a
he tried it.
great name too.
Yeah, yeah, he did a good job, man. I got to commend him on that one because I enjoyed myself because they played, you know, they're playing popper and locker music, and that's like loft music. You know,
Yeah,
I'm calling it house music. You
oh,
know, everyone look at me like that's not house music, but you know how it is.
yeah,
We
yeah,
just
yeah.
like they
But see, that just shows your range that you
yeah,
equate from your world. This is what they were playing
yeah,
when I was going out. You know what I mean? And now, of course, on the West Coast, they identified with pop and lock and all the funk stuff. But funk stuff for us
yeah,
was, you
yeah.
know, that we would dance to that like the way we dance now.
Easy, easy.
And
Yeah,
there's some funk tracks that they don't even know on the West Coast because people like David Mancuso played it, and then from there, even though I'm too young for that club, but
yeah,
then it was shared and trickled down into the clubs that we went to. So yeah,
yeah,
and then talking about how you have to play music to dance each category of dancer is also a little bit weird for me
yeah, yeah.
because uh yo, you know who one of the best house dancers in New York City is? Link.
Yeah,
Link is
yo, my boy. Yo,
ridiculously
listen.
dope.
Let me tell you, my boy be like, my boy Ez be like, yo, Link got the cheat code. Link got the cheat code because
Yeah,
he be put.
Ezra.
I see. He be like, yo, I see him. He be putting that hip hop into his house. I see him.
But
Link got that cheat code. So
in the
big
beginning,
shout out to Link. Yeah,
it was all the same people. Khalif is a hip hop dancer,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Right. Voodoo Ray was a hip hop dancer and a
yeah.
house dancer. So it was all of us going from like I'm the youngest, but we would go club to club. So it wasn't
And
like
reggae, because you had to be able to
and
rock
oh
a
my
little
God.
reggae too. So nobody really ran
I'm
into
from
that old school
Flatbush.
dance reggae. Yeah, my
I'm
butterfly
from
still off the
Flatbush.
hook.
I just played like a 2 hour like old school dance hall set last night
Ah,
in the club.
ah,
So but
murder she wrote.
this is what I'm saying. Like when it music has gotten so homogenous.
Yeah,
You know, it's house, tech house, uh, Afro, Afro house, like all of these different brands of house, but at the same time, it's still the same shit. Let's just be
Yeah,
real. It's the same shit.
yeah.
But let's just reach a little bit further and bring stuff back into this house world, which is
I
what
hope
I'm
they
used
do,
to.
man. Yeah, I hope they do because when I see a battle, for instance, you're so right because like if you see a battle, like you see a house dance forever battle, right? And a DJ, and it's no disrespect to the DJ, so please understand we're not criticizing, we're just
Mhm.
analyzing. When they're playing the music, right? We never get to hear any classics, so the dancers can really do an expression of themselves, and then we can see beyond the
Exactly.
footwork that you have a well-rounded house style
You're
that's beyond
exactly
just
right.
the footwork or beyond the fast moves or beyond, and I can't say good, fast, or slow, just the creation of it, what you bring out, you know
I I
it's
say
hard to
this
see that, you don't see it.
exact same thing. If you go to a hip hop battle, you'll hear some '90s shit, right? In a hip hop battle, you'll hear
Yeah,
some classic shit, right? Funk, you hear like if it's a popping battle, you hear the new funk and you'll hear the old funk.
yeah.
Locking, they pretty much stay in the same era because there's not much like new funk coming out for
And,
locking. But when it comes to house, it is always the newest. They never take a step back. They never go back to the roots of what it is. As far back as they go is they might play Acid Crash or Computer Madness,
exactly, yep, that song.
right? Other than that, yeah.
Or that one right
Other than that,
there.
they don't really do it. I played a battle. I played this SDK battle like maybe in 2009, and Link was judging, Brian Green was judging, and somebody else was judging. Um, Hero was in the battle, and Tatsuo was in the battle, and there was a bunch of other guys from Europe and stuff in the battle. So at the end, like I started to play classics, and the people from Europe couldn't relate to the classics being played in house. Hiro and Tatsuo could because they experienced from a different angle because Japan had been following the New York scene for a very long time.
Yeah, yeah.
So I played what is it? Los Conquistadores Chocolate
Oh
by Donny
wow.
Hammond. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, dolphin
And
dives all
people
day. Dolphin dives.
people were looking at me like, what are you doing? Why are you playing this? And me and Brian, we don't agree on everything, right? We don't agree on everything. We don't see eye to eye on everything, but when it comes to music, it's absolute. Brian stood up and said, I don't know what the fuck you looking at him for. This is what we dance to. Now dance. Because it's the fault of the DJ. It's just like, yo, reach further than what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And this
Reach
is
further.
well, we could get into a whole nother long conversation where a lot of the disconnect is coming from because it's a lot. Sometimes it's uh, our older
Hey man.
our older generation. We love you guys, but please come along, come on board with us on this one. That's all I
Yeah.
gotta say. I don't want to get so deep into it. So you know, other than that, we want to make sure we bring this culture forward.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, we keep it alive. You're right, man. They got to reach back a little bit. See, and maybe DJs got to do a little bit more history on what's going on. Maybe they got to do their history as much as the dancers have to do their history and want to know about the culture. I think some of the
I,
DJs do the same thing too as well.
I think
A
just
lot of
like
them are
as
dancers
dancers,
too.
we have to
So
find our names. Like we have to
yeah,
find out who we are. I like as a dancer, I had to learn who Terry was. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I loved when it comes to house. It for me, the world was Ejo and Brian when I was
yeah,
younger,
yeah,
right? But I'm not Ejo. I'm not Brian. I had to
yeah,
find out what my name was, who I was, right?
yeah,
And I that's something that I had to do. And a lot of dancers, we have to do that. But it's the same thing on the other side with DJs. It's not about reaching back, it's about reaching out and find out who
yeah,
you are.
yeah. That too.
So,
Yeah, yeah. You're right about
you
that.
know, but yeah, that's another issue. It becomes also difficult to find out who you are if you, as a dancer, if you don't have the music to play with.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Very
So
difficult, very difficult. Yo, if there's anything you got to say or want to release out here right now to the people, please let them know right now.
um
This is very important time. Very good conversation. This not
oh
gonna be
no,
our
man.
last. We're gonna do it again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We come up with something. I just wanted to make sure I hit on a topic that you were over here in Germany, definitely. And yeah, which was very interesting because it's a life story. So we were just into the drama today, and I know a lot of people want to see that all the time. But you know, sometimes we just have a normal conversation, and we at this time, you dancers are lucky because we're on the DJs today, so you guys
Yeah.
escaped. Gotta
No, I
get
mean,
that
I'm
culture.
not, it's funny because I'm not really jumping on anyone. The thing is just I love this shit. I love this
Yeah,
culture.
yeah,
And if
yeah,
you love something, you want it to last and you want it to be taken care of, right? Um,
yeah,
all the beef and dance, to be honest, I'm too old for that shit now, son. My last rivals were like Yuxan and Bobson. That's my last rivals. But now, man, those are my brothers
yeah,
because we pushed each other's levels up like what you're supposed to
yeah,
do, right?
yeah.
That's what rivals are about. Rivals, it's not just arguing for the sake of
No,
throwing
no,
out
no, no,
words.
no. But you know, what
Push each
I'm
other
doing right
up.
now, I'm trying to bring it, because a lot of times, if you keep it kind of like you want to keep it 100 with everybody, you want to let them know what's going on. And to me, that's all. That's the thing about being passionate about the culture. You want to be honest as possible. You know, the
Yeah.
best thing to do is try not to have no agenda. If you really love the culture, try not to have no agenda with it, as far as doing this and that. And this is for the dancers out there. You know what I mean? Love the culture, man. Learn more as much as you can about it and enjoy yourself. This is the most important thing.
Yep.
And don't be afraid to experiment and get wrong. And don't be afraid if somebody pop up and say, hey, maybe you did it wrong. Maybe you need to do a little more research or this and that and culture. And don't get offended. Don't, and keep the culture alive, man, because you enjoy something that we enjoyed, that our parents enjoyed, and it is what it is. You got to kind of like take care of it. You got to be good stewards of the thing, and they have to be if they wanted to keep it alive and enjoy it. You know what I mean?
I think the best thing that came out of this whole house thing that we do right now, especially like on the dance side when it comes to like Europe and well, New York when it comes to house, like it's like New York, New Jersey when it comes to house.
Hmm.
Um, what it did, especially with France, it allowed us, black men and women who dance in New York, to have these conversations with black men and women who
Yeah, around the
dance
world. Yeah,
in Europe and especially in France at that time. And what we did was we started to speak this language through dance to each other and we could relate, whether it was like a little beefy or whatever, we could relate. And then because of that conversation we had, it opened the door to Africa for real, that and of course the internet. And
yeah,
now, because of the conversations we were having through dance, it's a lot easier for people to be like, yo, but look at that. That precedes what they did with dance. And I think that that is the greatest thing that may
yeah,
have come out of
yeah.
just those conversations through dance that led back to the
Yeah.
origins, to home. You know
Yo,
what I mean?
India,
I think
India
those,
is in the mix now. India is
yeah,
rising
oh, India,
in the mix.
dude,
They are in the
my
mix and they're going
Instagram.
hard body too.
Yo, dude, my Instagram, like so many, I have so many followers. I was joking with my boy the other day. I was like, I'm gonna call it Indigram because it's like so many Indian
What?
followers.
And they going hard
Indigram.
body all
Yeah,
over, all over India. They
they're
going,
getting
they
better.
getting it in. They's like, yo, and
But
they getting it in.
India has a long, long dance culture too. Like
Yeah,
India's dance culture, and it relates because Indian rhythms are so complicated. So they
yeah.
understand like the language that we speak as well. But yeah, man,
And it's
India's
so
India's really
but you know
getting
what?
there.
It's surprising because it's so natural, and you can see their culture in it. That's the crazy thing about it. Even when they do like the dances that are common dances, you still see their
Yep,
culture in it. It's like it's crazy to see it,
yep.
man. It's like wow, that is amazing. And that's why I say they're definitely on
People
the
of the
rise.
sun. People
Huh?
of the sun.
Watch out
People
for
of the
India,
sun.
yo. If this Corona thing is over and them battles open up, y'all better watch out for India because they're gonna be coming. India coming with a, India coming with something like, yo, we here now.
Yeah.
Woo.
They like there's this one kid I don't know his name. He always sends me videos and like I usually don't respond to him because I just can't respond to every video, not to be a dick. It's just,
Yeah.
but I watch his videos sometimes. I'm like, damn, dude, you sent me a video last month. It was like, but this month it's like you're on fire. What's
Yeah.
going on? Like
Yeah.
the level is jumping up there, man. The
Yeah, and
level is
they
jumping
and
up.
the battle and the way and they're coming through on a Corona era time where we didn't see
Mhm.
India. We see mostly UK. You see Japan. You see France. You see a little bit of the UK. United States jump back in again. The young guns are in there. You know, we're not hearing a lot about them. But somebody just won for the Dance Forever just now recently. I just forgot his name.
Was
Oh
it Tony?
yeah, Tony
Tony?
just won from where is he from? Out
Tony is
Midwest
a
somewhere.
beast.
Yeah, I
Yo,
seen him.
Tony,
I seen him.
Tony, you're a
Oh,
beast. And with my rent money,
with
inside
Tony.
joke, inside
Woo.
joke. But yo, Tony's a beast. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm gonna
I
try to hit this kid up. I'm gonna try to find him and talk to him too, man. Because I'm very interested. It was
I
good. That was good to
judged
see him win, man.
I judged him at Step Your Game Up, wow, 2 years ago now. And I was just like, and at that time I already knew I was gonna be in Summer Dance Forever. And I was just like, oh Jesus Christ, I don't want to go against this kid. This guy.
Bringing that
I was
work
like, whoo,
for you.
I'm gonna have to step my game up, like, but because he's just dope. And yo, for real, Francois, no joke. Francois is no joke too. Francois is a
Yeah.
beast. All
So
these motherfuckers, these young ass knees.
yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get some. I'm trying to eat more gummy bears for my knees, man. My knees is out of
Shit.
there. They ain't working.
You know,
But
oh, I'm just not at the competition part in it. I'm just like that never appealed to me. Like that battle world, if we're in a circle, that appeals. But that battle world never appealed to me. I just don't feel
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like my
yeah,
battles are like, I don't like you. What you doing here? Let's go. But the other stuff is just like just a contest. It's a yeah,
yeah.
and
It's a
it just I don't
contest.
feel it.
Yeah, yeah. But
I
it's
don't
good.
feel this.
What Yuxun had said, man, which really he made such a good point. And the only thing about it in Europe, no battles, no house. So I mean,
Exactly. That's the truth.
he hit it so
Absolutely.
on point, man. I couldn't. As got no argument with that because I've
This
seen
is
the
it.
culture over here. I've been over here, and maybe a lot of people in the states don't get it, but this is that's the one thing. That's the reason why. What I pull out that whole interview with me and him, what really stuck with me the most was that comment that no
I
battles, no house in Europe. So
When people ask me what do I think of the battles, I say, well, they're not neither good nor bad. They just are what they are. In Europe, to be honest, as Yuxan said, if there wasn't the battles, there would be no house in Europe, right? But the downside to that is you miss out on a lot of the other rich stuff in the culture if you only focus on the battle.
yeah, and then the
Um,
mentality gets warped too. You have a
exactly. The
warped
mentality goes
mentality
to
and a
b-boy.
warped thought. And this is what I
Yeah.
experienced over here in Germany, just being here. And the guys don't know how long I've been here, or they don't know nothing. They just got in the house in 2000, early 2007, stuff like that. I've been dancing house since like 88, 87 and it's like, dude, you come at me with a battle mentality even when you speak to me. So it's
Yeah.
like for me, it's like, all right, if that's how you want it, I give it to you the same way. But at the end of the day, I was there at the club, so you weren't. You were in the battles, and I
And
respect the battles, but you also got to respect the club scene too. We're here, you
but
know.
another good thing is the battles open up the world of house for Europe, even
Yeah,
though they don't often get the other part of the culture. Some of them will take that pilgrimage to New York City. And I know a lot of them when they get to New York, they're like, oh my God, is this what it really is? When they go to Fort Greene Park, when they go to all the outside parties in the summer,
yeah,
it's a different world.
yeah,
And then that's when they begin their true house journey,
yeah,
the true house dance journey. But in the beginning, they're just on the battle journey. It's not even
yeah,
necessarily about house dance. It's a dancing to house music, but it's just like it's a little bit different. but I have to give the battles the credit of opening the door.
Yeah.
And then as teachers, it becomes our responsibility to bring them to the rest of what this thing we call house is,
Mhm.
and I think that may be uh, like a lot of people may skip that part, the bringing your students to the rest of this thing, that house is that feeling. We have to try harder to bring them as close to the mentality of what we know as house as possible. We have to.
Yeah.
If not, it's gonna just be a sport, and
Yeah.
that's not. It's gonna lose all the beauty of what makes it like. It's such a loving, embracing culture that we have to make sure that we do our due diligence and take care of our responsibility to make sure that everyone that's following us knows it and treats it as
Yeah.
such.
Yeah. That's right, man. That's right. Yo, man. Any shout outs you want to give or anything out there to
Um,
anybody, man?
Shout out to Buddha Stretch, Link Rock, to Ejo, to Loose Joint, and my man Bobby Mileage. Shout out to Big, Big Cyclone, Crick Doogie, and man, of course, Tony Bones, um, Mike Euphoria, the whole family. Come as my friends.
Yeah,
Big
man.
Leaf, I miss you, Leaf. Yo, Leaf, man. Like, yo, seriously. I guess the worst part of being away from home is not being with my peoples. So big shout out to all my peoples. I miss you all.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can get. I'm hoping even after Corona, I can get back. I think I got a target on my back, so I'm good. I got some old heads going. Hey, see me at the party.
Man.
I don't know. So
What's that shit you said in that interview? Oh
say,
God. Hey man, if anybody got anything that they disagree with, hit me up. Like I don't care. I can back up any of my opinions.
yeah,
I can back up any of my opinions. I don't
and
mind.
yeah, that is great for the culture, man. Because we gotta have all perspectives, man. We just don't want
Yeah,
one
yeah,
perspective. We gotta have all
yeah,
perspectives so we can see the bigger picture. Because we're all a piece of this
yeah.
puzzle, and yeah, we just putting it
Exactly.
together, man. We just putting it together.
Putting it together.
Yeah. So thank you very
Yeah.
much, man, and
No
thanks
doubt,
for
my
the
dude.
interview. And peace, bro. Be
Peace,
safe.
brother.
Keep the family safe. We'll do this again, man, in the future.
Yes, sir.
Peace,
Peace.
man.
Be safe, man, and stay healthy. You and your family.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Thank you. You
Peace,
too.
bro.